Hey there, creative people, Sandy here. In this video, I'm not only going to show you an unboxing of a bead subscription box, I'm going to give you lots of ideas for how you can take the items in there, and even kits, and mix and match and use your creativity to come up with things that are completely unique. Welcome to another creative video at keepsakecrafts.net. This is the November 2020 Potomac Bead box. This is the XL version, which means you get a second kit. It's titled La Belle Epoque, which means the beautiful epoch or the beautiful time. And they always have these lovely poetic descriptions. For this one, I would say right here, these first two words, Navy Twilight, really sums up everything that you find in this box. So the first thing you'll find when you open your box is a kit. This is the Moonlight Sonata bracelet, and you get everything in the kit to make this bracelet. You even get findings like wire guards and clasp. You don't get the needle and thread, but you get all of these beads are in this kit. Now, like I said, I have the second kit for the XL version, and for that one, I got this kit, the Royal Pendant. You've got the big crystal, the beads, again, no needle and thread. And then you get lots of other goodies in the box. This particular kit also came with a bonus pattern, none of the beads to do it, but I actually had a lot of these. I'll talk more about this, but for this snowflake bauble cover. So let's take a look at some of the other things in here. Now, I've used some of them, so there won't be everything. But as you can see, the Navy Twilight is really the theme. It's black and silver and blue. I would have to say one of my very favorite things in this box is this bead. I just love this. I can picture hanging some dangles, like a tassel down from it. I just think it's lovely. Beautiful opalescent two-hole beads. Actually, these are only single-hole beads. They're called angel wings. I have no idea what one would do with them, but they sure are pretty finish. Some jet hematite cabochons, two-hole cabochons, which is nice for stitching them into projects. They have two holes along the sides so that you can stitch them into projects and they won't twist and turn. A couple carrier beads, which I've never used as carrier beads. A cute little fabric button. Actually, it's a cabochon, isn't it? See? Yeah. Houndstooth check. Boy, I haven't seen much of that outside the 60s. These are interesting. These are bow trios. So it's shaped like a bow, and they have 3 holes. I can see these framing beads, or used as spacer bars in a bracelet or a necklace. Let's see, some beautiful full chrome faceted beads. Some 11-ohs, can always use seed beads. These are cute little bow charms. And if you like any of these, of course, you want more, you can always go on their website and order more. These are really adorable. These are really cute if you get a cube bead and put it under there. I believe a 6mm cube will fit in there perfectly, and then it looks like a little present topped with a bow. And I think one more thing, these are some faceted rounds in really pretty blue shade. There was more in this box. These are just the things that I haven't used yet. So let's go back to the kits for a moment. I actually did kind of sorta make this one. I didn't really love that bright blue seed bead that came in this kit, so I just subbed in some seed beads that I had in my stash that I like better for the side of the bezel. Otherwise, I followed the directions, but because these are delicas and they're smaller than my seed beads, I did have to change the count for the number of beads that go around your bezel. So like theirs says 54 rows of brick stitch. With the delicas, I used 46 rows. The important thing is that you make sure when you're doing a bezel like this that you have an even amount so that you can do your peyote stitch on the inside with the 15-ohs and help draw it in and create the bezel that holds your stone. So like I said, this kit came with the 18 by 25mm sapphire oval. It also came with 4, when you only needed 1 to do this design, but 4 of these little jet chatons, and the 11-ohs and the 15-ohs. Like I said, I didn't use these in this, but I did really love this color. This is, what's it? It's gray luster, so it's kind of silvery and kind of pearly, sort of reads as white, but I thought it was really beautiful. And I just did my own twist. Now this is another item that came in the box. You got 2 of these bales. So instead of making a seed bead bale like the directions showed, I just used one of these. I also added an extra row of 15-ohs on the outside, just 1 between each seed bead and the brick stitch along the outside. And then to add a hanging loop for your bale, you can just go back after you've done these individual beads. You can go back and I added 3 seed beads between those 2. In fact, if you do that between them all, you'll end up with a nice little scallop. I then did follow their directions for making a bezel for the jet chaton, and I thought it was nice that you got 4, because you could do a few of these. So if I bezeled all 4 of these, I could put a couple on either side and make a bracelet, and then added a drop that I had in my stash. So you could take these things and expand on them and make them your own. Now here's another really pretty item that came in the box, and that is these 14mm resin rivolis that sort of have the look of moonstone. They just have this kind of opally, smoky, I don't know, I really like them. And my first thought was to make a bracelet with these on either side of this big one, but I decided it was just a bit too much. So I bezeled these the exact same way I bezeled this. These took 30 seed beads to go around. And I did the same thing with the seed beads going around and a loop for hanging, added an ear wire. And then I actually used none of the beads in this kit for this bracelet. What I did was I took these beads, which also came in the box. These are midnight blue faceted rondelles, and I used them to make this little component. I didn't have the wire guards or anything. I just made this little component and then dangled them from the bottom of the resin rivolis that I had bezeled. What's lovely about these boxes is that because everything has a theme or a story, pretty much everything is going to go together. So you could dig around in your box. I did look for like a charm to go down here. One of these bows would be cute, but I thought it was a little too cute. These were maybe still a little too cute for my taste, but you could use those to dangle from the bottom. So I actually ended up using none of these beads for this kit, but that's okay because I will use them in something else. They will get added to my stash, and another day I'll be really happy to have them. I do love this design of using the crescent beads to make little ball-shaped beads. And one final thing was this snowflake bauble cover. I didn't really want to make a Christmas ornament or bauble, but I loved this flower, and I went digging through my stash of beads from previous Potomac bead boxes and found I had iris duos, and I also had some storm duos. So I made just one. Don't be afraid when you get these kits to look at everything you've got and look at them in all new ways and mix and match. If you love seed beads and bead weaving, be sure to check out the playlist that I put together for you over in the upper right. I will put a link down below to Potomac Bead Box. You can check out their subscription boxes, or they're also just a great company to order individual beads from. Happy creating!